the next is that we're still in process. We're being transformed into His likeness. We're not done yet. I tell people, don't wait until you're perfect to do wholeness prayer, because no one needs it in heaven. So yeah, work through the major stuff, but hey, we're in this together. We're people in process. And we're being transformed into His likeness with ever-increasing glory. Pretty cool. Make the tree good and its fruit will be good. Okay, let me just explain for a minute these little diagram thingies on this guy's head. We see, hands raised up. This is like a joy posture. This is part of our heritage, but you know what happens when your hands get down, and there's something to pray about. There's some victory to win. So the heart represents our new heart, the little star thingy, the Holy Spirit communicating with us. And then in our head, some parts are already transformed. That's the light little piece thingies. Some, like the black one, really need help. They're, like that unopened room, maybe. And then some are the brown, and, it's just a little mushy in there. And the arrows represent the heritage that we have, like the living hope and the joy and those things. So Matthew 12:33, it's very interesting that it says, make a tree good and the fruit will be good. If we look a little more, here's a tree with some good fruit. But what if the fruit isn't good? This Matthew 12:35 said, the good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him. So what if your tree looks a little more like this? Some good things coming out, and some things you're like, how did that fruit get there? So you want to look at the root. And part of that involves our thought processes, and some examples of problems would be from our heritage, like generational bondage we'll talk about a little bit. Curses, that could be blatant occult stuff. Also problems because of choosing sin. Sometimes that starts with our own wounds, sometimes just our own bad choices, sometimes both, but for whatever reason we choose sin. And then other processes, like I need to protect myself. That things going on in our head, vows, decisions. So lots of stuff to work on. Well, we're in a spiritual battle. We're engaged in spiritual warfare. And these two pictures represent two different types that might happen. The little black arrow would be the spiritual warfare. Let's say it hits part of you that is already light. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are saved. And some thought comes into your head that says you're not. What do you think that will be like? Do you think that's going to be hard, easy, whatever? How are you going to deal with that thought? Will it go in? Will it be hard to get rid of? Or will you just say, oh, that's a lot of baloney, forget it? What might you do with that if it hits a part that's light?
Put the handle with faith.
Yeah. Yep.
Dismiss it.
Yep. Yep. I used to have a flannel board that I had some of this stuff on, and if you put the little piece of felt on glass or on here, it doesn't stick. It just falls off because there's nothing to stick to. That's what it's like. But what about over here? That might be more like the flannel board. It's like, well, there it is. How do I get rid of this one? and that right there is part of what wholeness prayer helps with, because it's getting light into the darkness. I was reading Psalm 139 the other night, and where God says, even the darkness is not dark to me, and He makes darkness as light. And that's what we're looking for, and our wonderful God is so awesome to give that to us.